Right, and of course they were responding to the measures that are being taken, whether it's about the cost of living, whether it's about the taxation, and there are those proposals. Let me begin with you, Samuel, on this one. Those proposals by the government, the medium-term revenue strategy that would appear to, there is intention to change a few things, from corporate tax to income tax to personal relief, but also VAT rate from 16 to 18%. How are you treating this as a sector, even as you look towards what the two members of parliament talk about what should be happening to incentivize local production?
Thank you. So let me throw in my voice because it's very discouraging listening to our members of parliament, because they are the makers of law. And let me just say this, you know, as we elect members of parliament and the government into power, Chapter 1 of the Constitution gives us power. The sovereignty is with the citizenry. And we have been having what we call a master-slave relationship. Because you see, when members of parliament and also people in the government, like the CSs, the utterances that they are making, it shows that now we have become the slaves. And that is why there is no goodwill, even when it comes to policy. Because ideally, when you get into a regime, you do not disrupt the former regime like it did nothing. It's a build-up. And when you look at what Kibaki did, I don't know the next government, why they had to disrupt even that, the financial ecosystem. Now we are having the KK government in power. They are disrupting what was happening in the last regime, as if the last regime was so demonic. They have demonized regimes, like, we are not going to do that, you are starting afresh. You can't do that. It's a build-up. You are building an economy. Your time comes, you leave, and other people comes. You know, other people come and build the economy. This is a country that we are building. And that is why when you are listening to the members of parliament, it's very discouraging, because it means that we have the wrong people, where you have given the wrong people those positions. Because when it comes to even taxes, we have sent you there as Wanjiko, as trader, so that you can go and sit down. We are telling you we are overtaxed. So when you are going to parliament, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to sit down and say, my people have sent me, and they are saying they're overtaxed. They are changing names of taxes. Initially, we had even presumptive tax, which is very silent. It's already there, it's silent. What is that presumptive tax? You are told that when you are paying your licenses, you pay 15% of what you are paying your licenses as presumptive tax. Then you have the TOT, the turnover tax. You have the corporate tax. Now we are increasing now tax from the VAT from 16% to 18%, so that we can be at par with the states in the region. Why are we harmonizing that? We have our own, you know, economy that we have to grow. We have our own vision, and it's very discouraging to hear that the government does not have a vision. They get in there, and it's like they are always trying to do. They are always trying to do. Let me say this, Sam. You cannot tax traders into economic growth. You must make sure that we are doing manufacturing and local manufacturing. And local manufacturing has a very big potential here in this country. But the cost of production is very expensive. Sam, let me tell you, let me astonish you. It's easier, and people even are doing that now. Traders are doing that. It's easier for people to go and set base in South Africa, do manufacturing in South Africa, import goods from South Africa, and becomes cheaper than a person who is doing local manufacturing here. Why? Because we are killing the local we are killing the local manufacturers, and we have been having leaders who have interests in these areas. And let me just say this because it's important, and you have leaders here. We have leaders who have this interest, especially when it comes to taxation, especially when it comes to local manufacturing. Probably some of them are the importers, and probably they have their own personal interest there, which is very discouraging. Let me say this. When you're talking about...
Where are those leaders? Are they in the executive, parliament?
Some, they can be...
You know, I have a right of reply, yeah?
They can be even in the executive, they can be even the elected leaders. Because, look here, Sam, when you're talking about local manufacturing, and we are talking about shoes there here, if, for example, like that person who is our member, say that you want to make the bulbs, why was it that difficult for the government to give him incentives? We even have what we call the special economic zones. That's an idea that the government came up with. We said, let's have some special economic zones in different counties. The special economic zones, what are they supposed to do? They are environments whereby the government can come in and say, we are going to subsidize the power, come here, set base, do manufacturing here, and if, for example, your product is going to be locally consumed, you are going to pay taxes. If it's not going to be locally consumed, you are going to give you tax incentives for you to export. That was the essence of the special economic zone. So that narrative came, it was drummed up, then it went down. They engaged us, then it went down. So we are left there and we are saying that now you are overtaxing us. We cannot be able to even to do importation. When you want to do local manufacturing, you're overtaxing us. When you're asking you, come up, we have even given you our views of how we are supposed to even, to partner with you because we are complementing each other. You are our leaders, we have employed you, and you want to do business. Come up with incentives, whereby you can be able to help us do business. Tax incentives, hakuna. So the problem is this.
But the special economic zones